High view. Ever heard of a company so important that two countries are practically fighting over it? That's exactly what's happening right now with a company called Nexperia. This story has everything: high-tech chips, international politics, and billions of dollars on the line. It's a real-life corporate thriller, and it affects a lot more than you might think. So, who is Nexperia? They're a Dutch company, but they're owned by a Chinese parent company called Tech. Nexperia is a huge deal in the semiconductor world. They make billions of chips that go into cars, smartphones, and all sorts of electronics we use every single day. Think about it. The global supply chain for cars and electronics is already fragile, and Nexperia is a key player. Here's where it gets complicated. The Dutch government got worried about Nexperia's advanced technology potentially being transferred to its Chinese parent company, Tech. These aren't just any chips, they're essential for modern technology. So, in a pretty dramatic move, the Netherlands essentially seized control of Nexperia. They now have the power to veto any major strategic decisions the company makes. This was a huge step, basically putting the Dutch government in the driver's seat of this Chinese-owned company. As you can imagine, China was not happy about this. In response, they hit back by imposing export controls on all the chips that Nexperia makes in its factories in China. This immediately sent shockwaves through the automotive industry. Car manufacturers, who were already struggling with chip shortages, suddenly faced another massive supply chain crisis. Without Nexperia's chips from China, production lines could grind to a halt. It's a classic case of a geopolitical fight spilling over and directly impacting major global industries. The standoff put both countries in a difficult position. The Netherlands was trying to protect its technological assets, while China was using its manufacturing power as leverage. The situation became a high-stakes game of chicken, with the global auto industry caught in the middle. The pressure was on for both sides to find a solution before the economic damage got even worse. To make things even more intense, there was drama within the company itself. A Dutch court actually suspended Nexperia's former CEO, who also happens to be the founder of the Chinese parent company Tech. The court cited allegations of mismanagement, adding a whole new layer of corporate intrigue to this international dispute. Tonight, just a government-to-government issue. It's also a battle being fought in the courtroom and the boardroom. So, what's happening now? Well, it looks like there might be a light at the end of the tunnel. The Dutch economy minister announced that a high-level government delegation is heading to Beijing. Their mission is to sit down with Chinese officials and hash out a solution that works for everyone. This is a big deal. It shows that both sides are realizing that this fight is hurting them, and they need to find a way to de-escalate. The Dutch minister said they've seen some positive signs from China, with hints that they might be loosening those export rules. However, the Dutch are still watching very closely to see if trade from Nexperia's factories in China will actually get back to normal. Meanwhile, Beijing has been encouraging its allies, like Germany, to pressure the Netherlands to back down and reverse the seizure. This whole Nexperia saga is a perfect example of how intertwined technology, business, and global politics have become. Shows how a single company can become a flashpoint in a much larger strategic competition between nations. The outcome of these talks in Beijing will be incredibly important. Will they find a compromise? Can Nexperia go back to business as usual? Or is this just the beginning of a longer tech standoff? Callers, we'll be keeping a close eye on this story as it develops. What do you think will happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world.